All right, so we're adapting to this new normal in the wake of viral epidemics. And some of you may have heard of the epidemic of obesity before, but today we're going to dive into a topic that's often overlooked, but is incredibly crucial, and it impacts our entire culture's workplace. Today, we're talking about mental health as applied to men and addressing the epidemic of burnout in the workforce, a silent battle that we're only really getting comfortable talking a little bit more about more recently. And so I guess the big question is, we've been talking a lot more about burnout in the last few years, even before the pandemic, but now it's really creeping into the mainstream for companies to be implementing health awareness programs. And I'm doing a lot more webinars and seminars on site at corporations talking about men's health and specifically men's mental health awareness. But when it comes to men's health specifically, is it actually burnout or is it low testosterone? Okay, so if you've been following me, you're probably a pretty high functioning professional. Maybe you're a lawyer or an entrepreneur or a business owner. A lot of my clients like you are juggling work and family and relationships with their spouse and the challenges of parenthood. And it's a common story that I hear that we're feeling really drained and stressed and burnt out. I certainly went through that in my early 30s when we had our firstborn as well. But burnout is more than just feeling tired. It's a mental and emotional exhaustion that can really affect every aspect of your life, including your relationships and your ability to enjoy things that you used to love in the past. There are very specific physiological mechanisms for burnout that doctors, especially in our public system, don't often recognize or may not assess for either. And even if they do recognize those solutions or that symptom pattern, the solutions that they offer are typically very symptom-based, throwing a Band-Aid on things without addressing the underlying physiological mechanisms that drive this level of exhaustion. Now, let's draw a parallel here between the symptoms of burnout and another often overlooked factor, and that's suboptimal testosterone or low T. Many of the struggles that you're facing might not solely be due to burnout or adrenal dysfunction or adrenal fatigue, as a lot of people may refer to it, but it may have to do or may be linked to your hormonal balance, specifically the sex hormone side of things, and that's testosterone and low T. When you think of the term burnout, symptoms like fatigue or exhaustion, low energy, anxiety, maybe even like a depressed mood or depression, reduced libido, erectile dysfunction, changes in weight, these are often some of the things that we think of. But guess what? Those are also the classic signs of low T. Low sex drive, erectile dysfunction, fatigue, depression, mood swings, irritability, reduced muscle mass, difficulty maintaining or gaining lean body mass, increased body fat, especially around the abdomen. Some guys call this the muffin top, where your stomach fat kind of overlaps over your pants or your belt. Hair loss, poor cognitive function, like we spoke about a minute ago, poor sleep, and even decreased testicle size. These are the most common symptoms of suboptimal testosterone, the things you hear about all the time when we're talking about low T. Now, down the line, testosterone deficiencies or insufficiencies can also lead to lower bone density, which is one of the major reasons that optimizing testosterone when you're younger is so important to optimizing health span later on in life. Testosterone is also essential for the proper formation of sperm, so it plays a massive role in men's fertility. Suboptimal testosterone is in fact associated with an increased risk for all-cause mortality. That means low testosterone is correlated with death by any means and is especially true for its association with chronic disease. So one more time, lower levels of testosterone are associated with all chronic disease and all-cause mortality. It's time to connect the dots, man. We've been talking a lot about burnout and finally paying attention to this in the workplace and starting to talk about mental health, particularly around men and testosterone insufficiencies or low T. This diagnosis or this understanding or this situation for men, this shares common ground with adrenal dysfunction and burnout. And this creates a really vicious cycle as well that men find themselves in, and we feel really trapped. The demands of work and family life really often contribute to burnout, and the stress from burnout negatively impacts testosterone production as well. Now, here's the squeeze. Normal doesn't always equal optimal. Just because your testosterone levels fall within the normal range, that does not necessarily mean they're optimal for your well-being and your mental health. It's really time to redefine what it means to be in peak condition and strive for optimal testosterone levels, because optimal testosterone levels are the key to not just surviving, but thriving through and in your professional and your personal life, particularly as we're going through a lot of transitions as men, whether that's becoming a father or becoming a lifelong partner and getting married, just as some examples. Optimizing testosterone isn't just about looking better or feeling more energetic. It's about a crucial step towards reclaiming your mental health. When your hormones are in balance, you'll find the resilience to navigate all the different challenges that life can throw at you. So guys, let's break free from the burnout epidemic. It's time to prioritize your mental and your physical health, and optimizing testosterone just might be the missing piece of the puzzle. So if this video is speaking to you, you've got to start checking out my other videos on optimal testosterone levels, the specific tests that you should actually be testing. And the secret here is it's not just testosterone that you should be looking at. But if you think you might have suboptimal testosterone levels or low T, that's when you need to start taking a look at these videos so we can start to give you the tools that you can use to improve your testosterone status. My name's Dr. J. Hope you guys are doing awesome. I train superheroes, and I hope that you are on your way to being as superhuman as you can possibly be. All the best.